Student, it's a nice topic. It's a weighted average allegation is a very conceptual topic, a very nice topic. So let's begin from the start. What happened to, I did escape. Okay, so welcome again, and we'll start off. We'll try to be a little quick, students. Why careful of weights? What is wrong? Sorry, just a minute, huh? Yeah. Okay, so we'll start weighted average. It's a nice conceptual topic, can be used to your advantage a lot, students. So if I divide arithmetic into conceptual areas, I would say ratio and percentages are almost the same. I don't distinguish too much. They're just different ways of writing. Percentage is also something as a ratio with 100 as the base. Now, weighted average is a very different concept totally, right? So a little conceptually try to understand, right? When we find averages, but of percentages. We are finding average of percentages, right? So for example, in my Vivas, I scored 60% and written, I scored 80%. Now, I would ask you to look at your college scenario, right? We all go through Vivas, we all go through. Now, tell me, for what do you study more? Obviously, students like Shanmukhi and all will study a lot for all the, for Viva also, written also. Huh? But then what do, let's say, lazy people, what do they do? Yeah, what do lazy people? Yeah, Shanmukhi, you can go ahead and speak out. Yeah, not an issue, whenever you are. Okay, no, you. Okay, probably I'll not let it go. Yeah, probably you are the ones who don't need to study for anything and still you get very great marks, right? So Shivkant says for neither. Okay, between the two, Shivkant, for which? Between the two. Okay, between the two. Chalo, let's just wait for Shivkant's answer and then we do that. Okay. So between the two, I'm pretty sure we study more for. Chalo, play along with me, students. Don't give me answers that. Okay, most of you are in a foul mood today. So why do we do it for written exam, or Amay says written, Shanmukhi? Yeah. So you know what my question is meant and so on, right? So why do we do it for written exam? Primarily because written exam has greater weightage, and that is the meaning of this weighted, students, right? For written has a greater weightage, right? So it is more important, it determines the outcome more, right? So this weighted is that part. Now coming back to very basic things, when we are finding average of percentages, you cannot do percentage 1 plus percentage 2, okay, by 2. You cannot do this, students, right? So what is the, you want an overall, na? So combined, so you cannot do this. So let's just go ahead to get the scenario. And that percentage can come in many scenarios, students, right? That percentage is also used in profit. So I sold a watch at 10% profit, a bicycle at 20% profit. What is the average profit percentage considering both? Right? So you'll find a lot of questions of profit loss discount being discussed in weighted average, right? Because it's a very nice place where people struggle. In fact, even the question that I put up earlier for you to solve had profit percentage. So can you do 10 plus 20%? So in the moment you do 10 plus 20%, now this has no meaning whatsoever. Even if you are dividing by 2, my objection is to the summation itself. You can never add percentages. Okay, never add percentages. We have seen this even in successive percentages and so on. And please understand now, this never is with a little conditional. Yeah, there's no logic to it. Obviously, if the base is same, right, you can say 20% off, let's say 475 plus 10% of 475. Now you might say, hey, why can I not add? You can obviously add this, but this is a specific case. Yeah, this is special. This is a special. So even here you are adding, because look at the expression, look at this expression. You're adding it because both of these are same. But what I'm trying to say is a percentage never hangs in the air. A percentage does not just remain 20 and 10% ever. It is always off something, right? So hope y'all can obviously appreciate what I'm trying to say. So it is wrong to say 10% plus 20%. The moment you do this, I will say this itself is wrong, right? Forget that, right? So continuing further, it could be a percentage or it could be a rate. Now this is also a very nice word, students, rate. Start clubbing different measures into categories. Percentage is one, rate. Now this rate could be anything. For example, the most common is what is the rate of petrol or a price of petrol. Yeah, the most common example a layman would understand is rupees per kg, rupees per liters. So rice is bought in 2 lots. So again, pick words, right? When 2 lots come into picture, then weighted average will come into picture. This is a conceptual part. You know, it's a little intuitive. And I find some people failing over that, and some people saying it's obviously a weighted average scenario. Students, I've taught in B schools also, okay? And in B schools, I find it very surprising when people don't understand that there is something called a weighted average. In fact, in real life, the only thing is that is weighted average. You very rarely have something called a simple average. You have that in statistics, but not in practical examples. Okay, anyway, we can't afford a lot of time in discussions. Okay, so 2 lots. So again, what is the average cost, both lots combined? So you cannot do 40 rupees per kg. So let me write this again, right? 40 rupees per kg plus 60 rupees per kg. Now, if I just add them up and I get this value, which is, let's say, 100, right? I get this 100. Now, this will equal to 100 rupees per kg. Now, tell me, is this really 100? Does it have any logical meaning? I don't think so too much in that case. Yeah, rates can't be added. Or if you don't appreciate this example, look at the next example. It's nice, right? Part of a journey is covered at 40 kilometers per hour and rest at 60. Here you might, earlier you might say, yeah, this 100 is I given 100 rupees, 40 rupees here I've given, 60 rupees there I've given. Okay, now tell me for this 40 kilometer per hour and 60 kilometer per hour, if you add, you get 100 kilometers per hour. Do you really think this 100 kilometers per hour has any real significance in world? Think you are traveling, oh, some part I travel 40, some part 60, and suddenly my speed becomes 100. You don't do that, right? So what I'm just trying to sensitize you to is there are certain operations that are not allowed in a common scenario. Like this addition is not allowed here. This addition is not allowed here, students. Right? In fact, it's never allowed in any rate. Okay, so one more last part. When you find average of averages, right? It could be simple like average age of girls is 18 years and boys is 20 years. This is the example where all weighted average class explanation starts always. So since they are averages themselves, we do not do average plus average. We do not do this, students. Okay, so and that could be averages could be of many types. I don't know if I have more on the slide, right? What other averages? The averages could be average salaries, the average height. There could be many such things. Okay, the average. In fact, even here the average marks, the average weights, right? I'm missing something. Some averages. So simple average cannot be done. So right. So what do we end up doing over here? We need to use weighted average. And what is the weighted average? So the weighted average is nothing but whatever you are finding an average of, okay, you multiply that with the weight. with an sort of importance, weightage. You take the other observation, you multiply it with a weightage, right? You take a third observation, you multiply it with a weightage, and so on. You keep doing, then you add them. So this addition is allowed, but not the earlier addition, right? And what do we divide it by? We divide it by the sum of weights. Remember, here you're finding an average of x1, x2, x3, right? It is an average of x1, x2, x3, right? So a lot of people, the most elementary error, okay, for those who are just beginning with maths, is confusing between what is weight and what is this. Confusing between x and weight, right? Which is weight, which is x. I think so. That's a very, a very, what shall I say, short-sighted mistake. You have to just ask yourself, what are you finding an average of? If you're finding average heights, these all will be heights. If you're finding average marks, these all will be marks. If you're finding average speed, these will be speed, x1, x2, x3. So remember, x1, x2, x3 are the observations, right? So should be known from your previous ones, right? So let's continue. Now the funda is, what do you take weights? Now this is going to be the most important question, right? Right till next 2-3 years, till 2 to 3 years, different scenario you'll keep learning, students. Different scenarios. So even after your CAT gets done, in different scenario you'll keep learning. You will keep learning what are weights, right? It is such a it's a very small arithmetic topic, but you'll keep learning. Okay, how do you handle weights? What are weights, and so on, right? So let's make a head start. To find average of percentages, just remember, the base of the percentage will be the weight. Okay, the base of the percentage will be the weight. So let's go ahead and see our examples. We have profit percentages. So go ahead. If I say profit percentages, 20% profit, this is a profit percentage. So what is a percentage profit of? Profit percentage of what? Of CP. So cost price will be my base. Okay, I'm doing 10% profit. Now this is again, so this will again be of the cost price, right? So this will become your this, and you're finding the average profit percentage. These are your x1, x2. These are your weights, weight and weight. So the denominator will be cost price 1 plus cost price 2. Coming to think of it, students, the one end of it should be, why do people struggle here? Isn't it so obvious? When you're finding profit percentage, tell me what will come in the denominator. You're finding a profit percentage. That it is average does not change its characteristic, no? So the denominator will be CP. So these are your weights. These are your weights. It's as simple as this also. And the numerator will be the profit amount. Profit in amount, not in percentage. So profit amount is what? Profit percent into cost price. So this is how you get, right? Profit percentage into cost price. Honestly, student, once you get a hang and feel of it, you'll start thinking, why was it so, why did I have to rely so much on a formula type of a thing? Isn't it very obvious? Like, if there are different rates, nice thought, okay, this rate is going to trouble you. Okay, so I'm letting out the detail right at the start. Student, it took me almost 2 years to master weighted average when I started teaching, especially allegation. Okay, so I'm summing all of it up here. Rate always has a numerator by a denominator. Rate is always like this, rupees per kg. Okay, kilometers per hour, kilometers per hour. Any rate you take, whatever. Okay, or else rupees per liter. Now this is almost same as what we had earlier. Yeah, kg. Right, let me give you some more nice rate. Okay, a little different. Do you know density is a rate? Why? I will call density as a rate. Why? And what is density? Now, don't go ahead and say it's a science class or so on, right? It will be explained over that. I'm just saying get used to different scenario, right? Okay, density is going to be the mass per unit volume. So listen, the weight for all of these, so these are your x1s, the weight will always be what comes in the denominator. Rupees per kg you are doing, so weight will be the kgs purchased. Speed you are finding average, weight will be for speed. So let me write all of this. Speed 1 into what? Hours refer to what? Hours is a unit, but what does it refer to? Time. So speed into time 1 plus speed into time 2 plus blah, 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 blah over. What is the weight? Time 1, time 2, time 3. Okay, you are taking some rupees per liter. Okay, this is rate. So let me just say R1 rupees per liter into volume 1. V1 liters is nothing but the volume, right? R2 into volume. So I'm just trying to give you different scenarios, you know, so that you become very, very equipped, right? Density, new thing came in. So there's something with the density 1, there's something with the density 2, there's something with the density 3. And I sort of want to average it out. Now, I don't know why one would want to do that, right? But let's say there is something that requires me to average it out. So if I want to average it out, I cannot do this plus this by 3. I'll have to do density into volume 1, density into volume 1, density into volume 1 divided by volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. So hope you understand the universality of this weighted average formula, right? So many places. So continuing. So some examples, rate rupees per kg, obviously the kg is bought. Speed, I've discussed the time, right? Remember, this is going to be used a lot. In fact, let's see if we do everything fast, we should do average speed tomorrow itself, right? Okay. When you're finding different of average of averages, that could be many different averages, then the weights are going to just be the number of observations. In fact, if you look at it everywhere, students, even in a percentage, how do you find a percentage? A percentage is also numerator over a denominator, and you don't say the denominator is 100. You convert the denominator to 100, right? This is 100. You have made it 100 instead of what it is. So it is the denominator, the base. If you look at average, average is what? The sum of observations over number of observations, right? So the weight is going to be the number of observations, right? Maths is a very nice symmetry. It doesn't work differently in different scenarios, okay? So always it is the denominator of that unit. Yeah. Okay, sorry, yeah. So let's go ahead and deal with directly with questions. Very simple questions, students. So let's try math. Let's try, you know, doing more questions. The more you do, the better it is. So just 1.5 minutes. These all are simple questions. They're just introducing you to different ideas. Let's quickly reach allegation when, right. So 1.5 minutes for all questions. Notebooks and pens handy. Yeah, it's after this, it's only questions. Lots of them. Okay, so the the question is just trying to tell you, look at the number of scenarios, different scenarios in which you can get what we are discussing. So I'm just introducing more the average rate. Okay, sorry. At which runs were scored in first 15 overs were 4.5 runs per over. That itself you should have realized. This is what? This is runs divided by overs. So this becomes a sort of rate. In fact, the name itself is a run rate, no? So there are many different types of rates, students, many different types of rates. So obviously it needs to be multiplied with overs. And what are overs? 15 overs, right? So just follow it mechanically. It will become very mechanical after some time, students. What is the other one? And remember, you're finding the average. Okay, so find the rate at which over the entire 50 years. I'm still finding the rate. So rate means these rate are going to be my x1, x2. Rate are going to be my x1, x2. So overs are going to be my weight 1, weight 2. So a very, it would be, what is the denominator? Is it 4.5 plus 6.5? Is that elementary error that I was talking about, that beginner's phase? Just look at what is it, multiple ways. What is in the denominator? What do you mean by rate? By rate, you need a runs per over. So the denominator has to be over, students, right? It cannot be anything else, right? So that's a simple enough answer. Now, if you're fast students, you can be very fast. Yeah. If you, okay, I'll do that maybe in revision or so on. So the answer here is going to be 4.9. How is that? 15, 60, 60 and 67.5 plus 35 into 6, 180, 210. 210 and something more, that is 17.5. Okay, by 50. By 50 means into 2 you'll get 5.9. I'm not wasting time there unless someone has a difficulty. Okay. Tests are held for 3 groups of subjects. Groups of subjects. What is happening? Students, sorry. 3 groups: language, science, social. Languages are 2 paper, and just try to mix it. Yeah, give it a little danger approach, but dangerous appearance, but it's easy, students. In fact, it's very easy. 200, 350. Just a minute. Yeah, very easy questions in fact. I should have skipped this question. This is not a very. It is just trying to say, can you take it as a correct? So 90% is of what? Is of 200 marks, right? I'm just seeing, will you do 150 or so on? Great. So almost all of you are taking that 1 minute, including the typing time and so on. 70% that I have got is in the science. Science is of 150 marks. And 80% that I get, all of them are percentage. So percentages will always be added in this manner itself, yeah, with the base that you do, right? This into, what is it, of 50. And the total marks are going to be 400. So I hope you get this. Okay, so the answer 81.25, right? Everyone is okay. So I'm just going, you just finish this calculation and that's your answer, right? Remember in this calculation, if anyone is struggling with this percent sign, uh, either keep it outside or these are easy, all are 100, 100, na? The zeros also cancel. So I don't think so you need help here. Okay, one more. I find students sometimes struggling with this, not being able to differentiate between percentage and per month, that salary or so on. Think, what are you finding over here? Give it a little moment, read it, especially those who find it tough, languages, those who find it tough, no? Those people read it carefully. Okay, good enough. So these are the average salaries. So this is an average salary, average of how many employees, of how many employees, of how many. So this is, how do you find average? You take something and you divide it. So the number of observations. The moment there is n, you need to find the number of observations, right? So the number, so it is of what? Of the bottom 30% of the employees. So you might say, I don't know the entire thing, but it is going to be 30% of n, right? Or so I'm giving it in a very detailed way, but ideally I don't think so you should have done it in this way. 50% of n. What is n? N is the total number of employees. What is this? Of 20% of n. This is again the total number of employees, right? Now I have one more thing here. 25,000 per month, per month. So I've just tried to make it okay. If someone gets confused between, oh, should I take months? Should I take, what should I take the weight as? Okay, I want to find the average salary. Okay, I want to find the average salary. Great. So I know that these are my X1, X2, X3, but what do I multiply it with? Now, again, I'm, spending a lot of time, even someone might not even have this problem, but I'm just planting that thought in your mind. Hey, shouldn't, this is per month, so shouldn't I multiply it with months? Shouldn't I multiply it with months? Think, you are finding the average salary per month itself you are finding. So this complete per month is your X1. And remember, it's an average. What is finding? Per employee. So you should be multiplying it with the number of employees, right? And not with this, because it's an average. How do you find this average? Let's say you took average salary of employees. You asked everyone, okay, what is your salary? My salary is 15,000. Okay, what is your salary? My salary is 23,000. Okay, my salary is 30,000, 35,000. What did we do? We took everyone's salary, we summed it up, and we divided by the number of observations. No, we did not find it by number of months. Did we divide by number of months? Not really. Number of observations. Then what does month have to do? Oh, month is in my question itself. What is your salary for the month? What is your salary for the month? But I'm dividing it by number. Now, again, as I said, I'm doing too much of a detailed thought. And even remember this also, you don't really need to do it in so much of detail. You could just say, okay, 100 people are there, 25,000 of 30 people, 75,000 of 50 people, and 1,75,000 of the remaining 20 people. What is the total number of people? 100. Right? This is how I would have probably handled it. So the answer is going to be 80,000, right? You calculate this 80,000. Again, just to save time, now not doing the calculation. Stop me if there's anything. Don't hesitate, right? Whatever. Okay, speed. 30 kilometers per hour for first 90 kilometers, 40 kilometers for next 80, and 50 kilometers per hour for the next 150. Find average. Okay, I guess I should just up the ante a bit. So don't do any of this, right? So don't blindly do just because some numbers are given. Don't just put some numbers. Okay, this all is completely wrong. Okay, so just because you have 30 kilometers per hour associated with 90 kilometers does not mean that you do 30 into 90. This is very silly, students, right? This is what. So that is what I've been trying to teach you. You want to find average speed. It is kilometers per hour. You need to multiply it by time and nothing else. Doesn't matter what is given in the question. So you have to convert this to time. So the time taken is going to be 3 hours. Here the time taken is going to be 2 hours. Right? And how do I know that? 40, 1 hour to 40 next, right? 50. So here the time is going to be 3 hours. So it's 30, so 30 into 3 plus 40 into 2 plus 50 into 3. And can someone tell me what does this become? This becomes nothing but 90 kilometers. So in fact, if you look at it, this is again an opportunity where you need to understand, hey, why was I relying so much on a formula? In fact, at a lot of time I debated over, should this formula be discussed also? Because eventually it just becomes total distance. Distance by time. So distance is directly given. Na? So could I not just say total distance? Yes, but the weighted average formula is so very pervasive all across. You'll find it in many applications that you should know the format of the formula. Right? So let's just leave it in the formula way. Otherwise, it's just distance over time. In fact, but how easy this is, no? Distance over time. That easy everything is, students. What was the previous one? The previous one was total salary divided by total employees. Even before that, total marks divided by maximum marks. So all of them are as simple as this, students, if you look at it overall, right? So, okay. Then you have certain questions like this, where you know, it's just trying to, you don't have a context to it. Now it is just checking if you are going to make a mistake over here. Earlier, there was an error in this. I hope I've corrected it. Yes, I've corrected it. It is just checking, do you know what you're supposed, which one goes where, numerator, denominator, or so on. Yeah, pretty easy. So, good, confident, right? The average. So it talks about the average of P observation. So P observation, the average is Q1. This is your N1. The average of another. So again, there's another average. This is your N2, the number of observation. This is your average. What is the average of all? So you are going to find the average of the averages. So Q multiplied with the P. Okay, and average XS multiplied with R, and denominator will be P plus R, the number of observations. Yeah, that is more important, the denominator. So D, okay, so the cost price 14,000. That of phone, the bicycle is sold at 2x% profit, the phone is sold at 3x. the overall profit percentage of both articles together is 19. So overall refers to that. So what is it? Profit percentage. So we are finding profit percentage. So 2x% of 14,000 plus 3x% of 16,000. Now, remember the denominators, sometimes you do get, so stop thinking that the denominators are small numbers and so on. Again, a wrong way to think. It's a profit percentage, so the weights are going to be cost price. So these are your weights. Okay, and this is given to me 19%. Now, this is a place where probably the percentage might affect someone. So just ignore the percentage because it's present all across. Right? So I don't think so that's again left too much different. And you can even ignore the 3 zeros because you can easily divide this by 1000, right? Numerator, denominator, or so on, right? So 1428x and 48x, right, is equal to 19 into 30. So that's 570 by 8, 16, 66. 10, 20, 30, 570. Is it really this much? I doubt it. But it's okay. 20, 40, 76. Is it 76? Okay. The 70. Okay. 19 threes are 19 fours are. So that becomes a 7.5. Simple. Okay. Okay, students. A little unusual. Be a little careful. Careful, huh? All of you are see. I hope no one makes a mistake. You are finding average mileage. So mileage is going to be your XIs, the observations. So mileage, kilometers per liter. Let me directly finish it, right? So denominator, focus on that denominator, liters. So how many liters? In fact, if you have understood what is going to happen, the moment you multiply this with liters, will liters cancel out and will you get kilometers? So again, so don't even spend that time. Can I just say this is going to be 180 kilometers plus 20 kilometers? Oh, so total I traveled 100 kilometers. And how many liters did it mean? Remember the total distance over liters. This is what I want to find. So now you will have to find the liters. So how much is that liters? 3 liters for the first stretch and 1 liter for the next. Ha ha ha. I will, first let me confirm and then I'll laugh. Okay, sorry, correct. Sorry, good. So, right, 4 liters, so 50. Okay, good enough, right? Good. Sorry. Okay, so you have got the hang, you have got the feel of it, you have understood it thoroughly, right? Now the only way that I can fool you, or I can, all other questions, you'll find it very similar now, students, right? So let's go ahead. The only other way where, so whether you had the last laugh, fair enough. So let's continue. The average age of girls is 18 years, boys is 20 years. Pay attention here, this is going to take you a little higher up, right? 18 years and 20 years. Now, can we find the average of boys and girls of all the students with just this information, no other information, right? So we did this. This is the average, and this is not the this. So doing 18 plus 20 by 2 is wrong, right? Any time that we spend more is wrong. Now, if there are 20 girls and 30, I'm just doing it, students, right? So 18 to 20, 20 girls. Girls are first, yeah. So be careful about, first, second. Sometimes you make those silly errors, right? Always, student, caution is always advisable. Yeah, never be careless. Okay, so that's going to be 360 and 600, 960 by 50. Now, how do you do this 960 by 50? Students, in your mind, you know a 50, so double it. So 96 is 192. So just think, it has to be between 18 and 20 years. Now, so it can't be 192.0 or anything. So it's going to be 19.2. Yeah, you should get a hang of these small things. Yeah, you should not trouble yourself. Divided by 50, divided by 25, all orally, right? Now, the question what this slide is trying to teach you is, what if there are 200 girls and 300 boys, right? Just see the notation if you want. That is 18 into 200 and then 20 into 300, right? And denominator will also become 200 and 300. So if you look at it, actually, you can sort of say this is same as the earlier one, right? So the average will come down to be the same thing. And I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together and you can understand that this is going to be the same thing. What if there are 40 and 60? Oh, maybe things will appear different now. Is it going to be different now? 80 into 40 and then 20 into 60 divided by 40 and 60. So what you see is this weights come both places, numerator as well as denominator. So if I divide the numerator by 20, I divided by 20 and this by 20, I have not made any change. Why? Because I've divided numerator both. And if I divide this, this becomes 2, this becomes 3. This becomes 2, this becomes 3. So it's the same thing happening as earlier, right? So I hope you have got the idea. What we are just talking about is, if the ratio is 2:3, student, I would still get the same thing. Remember, right? So it is 18 into 2k plus 20 into 3k. I don't know the k, right? But tell me, does it come in the numerator and denominator? So will the k cancel out? Right? And in all the cases, I get the same answer. So what is this trying to tell me? Student, why isn't it not written? Yeah, okay, it might be. Even if we don't know the weight, students, we don't know the actual weights, right? But what do we know? We know the ratio of weights. We know the ratio of weights. That is enough, right? That is enough, students. Yeah. So just to sum it up very quickly, what that means is, what is the data of an average weighted average question? How do you, when you read it, when you read a question, what do you keep in mind, right? So pay attention. What I keep in mind is, I want the individual observations. So I'm going to look at, or do I have x1, x2, x3, and so on. And with weights, what I'm going to worry about now is, it is just the ratio of weights. I will not treat this as individual, right? I will not treat it as individual hereafter. I will treat it as one group, just the weight, students, right? This is an important thing. So I hope you understand, these are all individuals and this is just a ratio is enough. If I have details, okay, that's super extraneous, extra work, but I just need the ratio. And what is the final thing? The weighted average. The final is the weighted average. So I'll just leave it as weighted average. So I think there are 3 levels. Level 1, level 2, the weighted average, right? And why am I again stressing this so much? So that you understand that if we have, students, if we have the individual observations and the weights, the observations and weights, okay, and I want to find the weighted average. I want to find the weighted average. Then I will be doing weighted average. Okay, what we were doing till now. Use the weighted average funda. But pay attention. Okay, if I have individual observations, individual observations, and I have C, and I have the weighted average, right? The weighted average is known. So what should you ask? What is unknown? The unknown. What else is left over here? If you look at it, what else is left over here? It's just the ratio of weights. And don't, yeah, again, yeah, while obviously in shorthand you might say weights, but essentially just think of it as ratio of weights. You'll not get the detailed weight, right? Then what do you do? What do you do? Anyone quick thoughts? We do allegation. We do allegation, students, right? So we are moving ahead to allegation. Allegation is just a process, students. Yeah. Why is this? Okay. Okay, I have to explain. Is it? What is allegation? Where did allegation go? Okay, sorry. There are some nice questions. Only one or two questions. Go ahead. Yeah, I think so. The slides got mixed up, one or two. So oranges are purchased in 2 lots. 15 oranges for ₹100. What is this? Wait, let me see. Very nice question. Wait, students, wait. I've skipped that question. I'll just come back. There is some miss part in that question. Okay. Another word, student, the weighted average relation can be rewritten. Okay. This weighted average, I can rewrite it as, I can separate out the denominators. Okay. Some students do this exclusively. So they separate out this part. This is 1. They separate out the second part, right? The second part is going to be with W2. They again separate this out. Okay, this is W2. And so on, they would separate out everything, right? I hope you can get the logic of it, right? So you have separated out. So with A1, what do you think is with A1? This is a fraction that is associated with A1. This is a fraction associated with A1. This is a fraction associated with A2. This is a fraction associated with A3, right? Now, this format is also obviously correct. Mathematically, you have not done any difference, right? So these are called fractional weights. Okay, these are called fractional weights. And it seems that there is no denominator here, right? But the denominator is inbuilt into the fraction itself, student, right? The denominator is gone into that fraction that we are using, right? So it just seems you take an observation, you multiply it by a fraction. Oh, this has a weight of 1/3. You take another observation and you multiply it with another observation, 2/3. And there's no denominator. In fact, what is the denominator? The denominator is 1/3 plus 2/3, which will eventually just become 1. Why? Because the sum of fractions have to become 1 when all of this you have taken together, right? So please be okay with this format also, right? Especially GMAT and all. Na? In GMAT, this is going to be used more. And there can be just one odd question can be there where such a thing appears easier, but otherwise there's not much merit in it. Okay. So going further, I have to do that question. Yeah, I purchase 20 oranges at a rate of 80 per kg and 30 apples. Why did orange change to apple? I'm a little lost here. What is all this happening? Okay, go ahead. Maybe there must be some message. No, this is not the same as that question. No, wait. Let me just... Yeah, do this question. Orange just changed to apples. I can't do much. Find the average rate per kg. So just think that I just mix them both, apple, orange. I just mix them into a big bunch and I just want the average rate, right? So don't, there must be something here. I don't know. Let me see. So I would still again not be overly worried, okay? 80. I want to find the average rate rupees per kg. So rupees per kg is going to be my A1 or X1. Okay, and kg bot is going to be my weight. So what is that? Kgs. Yeah, okay. aa gaya na? हाँ. So ho gaya, theek hai. All those who gave 86 as an answer. All those who gave 86 as an answer. Students, all questions seem very easy. In fact, you know, I was worrying, do you find any value in this class, today's class, right? You're just going ahead, cut, just do 80 into this. Student, even I did not know this question. Now you saw how I was a little confused. But then right, no, students. Write, students, please write. Write as in, when you're doing, don't use just numbers. That was because so much gave 80, 80, 86, 86, 86 so fast, so I started. So don't use just numbers, Siddhant. Yeah, don't use just numbers. Okay, by 50. So that is going to be 8 2s are 16, 9 3s are 27, 27 and 16 is going to be 37, 43, and with a 50, 43 will double. So 86. Your calculations can be fast. Don't do that. Write this. This is rupees per kg. Rupees per kg. So you'll multiply it by kgs and not number of apples and oranges. So hopefully I have Siddhant. Okay. Okay. हर time मैं error नहीं करता हूँ. कभी-कभी I am on the laughing side of it. Yeah. Okay. So good enough. Huh? So I'm pretty sure there would be something continued in this question. Let me just see. So continued. Yeah. If the weight of 4 oranges is equal to the weight of 3 apples. So now this is given a little surreptitiously. Still think and do. Okay, don't blindly do it. Go ahead. Now the question is ready. Okay, now we are taking a little, but the average, I might think average, can the average ever go beyond, I might think an answer. You are finding an average of 2 values. You're finding an average of 80 rupees per kg. Okay, and of 90 rupees per kg. Whatever you do, whether it is weighted average, simple average, the answer has to be between them. The answer has to be between them, student. Okay, another very common thing. It doesn't matter what the weights are, doesn't matter. The weight could be whatever. Yeah, but the answer eventually has to come between 80 and 90. Okay, there are still 2 answers. कुछ भी weights होने दो. weight 2 or 3 नहीं है, weight of 4 oranges equal to 3 apples, weight 2 or 3 नहीं है. Be careful, अमित carefully करो, अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, ठीक क्वेश्चन है. क्या ठीक से करना है? Listen, 20 oranges आपने परचेज किए हैं और 4 ऑरेंज का वेट 3 एप्पल जितना है. सो थिंक अबाउट इट. इनफैक्ट द वेट इज ऑल्सो नॉट. सो 4 oranges, the 4 oranges is equal to 3 apples. When you do these things, no such things, you have to be very careful. What are you saying this an orange? Oh, you're saying this as weight of 1 orange. This is weight of 1 apple. 1 apple, 1 orange. Tabhi to you multiplied with 4 oranges, na? So what is the weight of 1 orange? The weight of 1 orange over the weight of 1 apple is what? Is nothing but 3 by 4. Student, I've tried to tell you a couple of times. Once, no, let's say you have this relation, right? 3 times cube. 3 times, I told the easiest way is just assume this to be 3 and this to be 4. Just interchange the values, students, right? Because that will make the product equal. Because I know 4 into 3 is equal to 3 into 4. But then you should know what you're doing here. Yeah, you should know what is this and so on. So this is nothing but the weight of 1 orange, students, right? So weight of 1 orange is this. Now tell me, is 3 and 4 going to be the weights? So we have a different thoughts here. Yeah, you have an opportunity to correct yourself. Yeah, if you want, because there are 2 answers that are there, 85.7 and 86.66. No, it's not 1 orange and 1 apple. You need the weight of 20 orange and 20 apples because you have purchased 20 oranges. So yes, it depends upon the weight, but not of 1 orange and so on. So, and if you would have arranged this, you could have directly said the weight of 20 oranges will be 20 into 3. 20 into 3, that is, I bought 60 kgs of oranges. Now look at how we we mix things up. Obviously the price is given per kg. So think about it. Can you do 80 into 20 oranges? Look at that error that happens. 80 into 20 oranges. Does this have a meaning? No, this does not have a meaning because the rate to per kg ke hisab se hai na. So you'll have to ask 20 oranges ka weight kitna hai? What is the weight of them? Right? And the weight is 60. And what's the weight of 30 apples? The weight of 30 apples is 30 into 4, 120. Now, are you going to use 60 and 120? Now that we have done the previous slide, students, I would use 1 and a 2. What is this 1 and a 2? I hope you all know this. And I use this a lot in the examples, right? What is it? I just take the weight, ratio of weights. Yeah, 60 and 120. So that's going to be 180 and 60. 260, 180 and 80 divided by 3, that is going to be 86.66 is the answer, not a percentage rate. 86.66, hope that's okay, right? So let me go back and see that question, right? I'm moving ahead, students. If someone has some problem area here, just let me know. If someone has anything thought here. So, okay, I'm going ahead and seeing what was that earlier question. I don't know, so give me a little moment. No, Nikhil, these are things that, sometimes people do tell me these all. I assume that they are weighing same, I assume this. You cannot do such assumptions. Look, probably what happens is I might agree saying Siddhant saying, oh, I thought that apple and orange was a typo. It meant the same kind of fruit, but not. That. Okay, let me see this question. Let me understand it. You cannot assume, students.
Sir, one doubt.
Oranges are purchased in 2 lots. The first lot at a rate of 15 oranges per rupees 100. The second at 20 oranges per 100. I'll listen. Yeah, go ahead, Prerna or Hari Krishan, whoever wants to just go ahead.
Sir, one doubt.
Your voice is very okay. Yeah, sorry. I have my.
Sir, 20 weight of 20 oranges means 1 kilo.
Why?
The previous question.
Why 1 kilo 20 oranges means? Where did you get that 1 kilo from?
Sir, but you have taken 80 per kilogram, right?
Yeah, there's a rate. So I go and
Right.
I ask
So
the
how we can assume that weight of 20 oranges is 1 kilogram?
I have not assumed, you are assuming. I did not assume 1 kilogram. Where did I assume 1 kilogram? Tell me again, students, when I said rupees 80 rupees, look at this, 80 rupees per kilogram. Did I say I have purchased 1 kilogram? Did I write 1 kilogram? Did I say I paid rupees 80? No, I never. I said this is not 1 kilogram. But isn't that what we are doing right from the start in these questions? When we have rupees per kilogram, did I take the weight as 1 kilogram? I don't think so. I took the weight as 20 oranges weigh. If you want to ask me, I took the weight as, oh, the 60 are students. Students, what is this? 60 kgs I took, no? Student, look, again we keep missing out. It is the weights themselves are not important. It is only the ratio of weights. Okay, now I understood, Hari Krishna, what you are saying. It is the ratio of weights. The weights that I have is 60 kilograms and 120. Now you might object for this, and I would say, yes, you should object. 60, and how do I know? I don't know. I know the weight of one orange, right, and the weight of one apple. Oh, students, a nice question. Is 3 by 4. So what is the weight of 20 orange? The weight of 20 orange is what? 3 into 20, 60. But is it 60 exact? No, then take a ratio. The weight of 30 apples. What is the weight of 30 apples? 4 into 30. Is this okay? So either this is 60, this is 120. So Hari Krishnan got understood or no? Give a very nice this. Yeah, you can use 60. What was this? 90. You can use 120. Or you could, this themselves are a ratio, student. So why not just take in a ratio? Remember that weight ka ratio only matters. So I hope you got that point of it.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Prerna, same point, something else?
No, sir. Hari Krishnan could told her that that's why I informed you.
Okay, sorry. What happened is, my headphone is plugged in, so I could not hear it clearly. Okay, chalo now. Sorry. So let's go to that question. I'm sure that question also has some value in it. So give me a minute. Let me read slowly. Oranges are purchased in 2 lots. Okay. First lot at 15 oranges per 100 rupees. Okay, that's fair enough. This is just a rate. But this rate is given in a little unusual way. Yeah? Just be a little careful. Second lot is also at a rate. The 2 lots are mixed together. Find the average rate of the mixture. Okay, this is not there, friend. This is not there. Go ahead, answer this. Find the average rate of the mixture. Think and answer. Yeah, this is just checking again, understanding. Find the average rate of the mixture, and the mixture is asking average rate. How do you find rate? Rate is number of oranges per rupees 100. Very good. So what is the rate? And now the rate is what? Think about it. The rate is numbers per rupees 100. So that is itself a unit, students. Numbers per rupees 100. So what is the rate? You get one lot is 15. Okay. And the other lot is 20. So this is your X1, X2. I hope you understand, right? Per rupees 100 goes in the denominator. So 15 oranges per rupees 100. And don't get psyched out with the denominator. This is just trying to tell you how to manage all this with the denominator. Oranges per rupees 100. That 100 per rupees is going to be a part of the units. Now I want to find a weighted average. So remember, you need something more to this. Okay. So you cannot. So the answer is cannot be determined. Right. Now go ahead, students, and now think new question. This is also that. So this is a second question for the same one. This is question number 2. Question number 2 on that same point. Question number 2. This is question number 1. Okay. If Ankit, sure. If the average rate of the mixture is 18 oranges per 100, think and be a little careful. It's a very nice question. Okay. Oh, the average is given to me. The average is given to me. Very good. Pratme, Nikhil, Rajat. Shanmukhi, try yourself, and I want your. In fact, I was waiting for an answer from you also here. Shivam, Tanvi, Aman, Shivani. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait. Students, reevaluate all. So it may be 2:3. I'm not commenting anything as of now. It may be 2:3. So Pratmesh, Nikhil, Rajat, Kumar, Darshashwat, Siddhant, Neha, Disha, Desh, Shubham, everyone, Akanksha, Shivkan, Shivam, Tanvi, Aman, Rishuvi, Shivani, Aishi, all of you, go back and think of that units. You get 2:3. What is 2:3? Is the ratio of weights. What are weights in this context? What are weights in this context? Is it number of oranges? Will you multiply this, Pratmesh, with number of oranges? Screen पे units आपके सामने लिखा है. Pratmesh, हाँ तो 2 बार error नहीं करना. I asked you to reevaluate. क्योंकि मैं बता दूंगा फिर से, because then we'll again miss the bus. And you know, we are again coming back and getting stuck at only number of fruits, rate of the fruit, and amount spent. वहीं पर even last time, if you remember those 2-3 questions, we are always getting stuck with number of fruits, rate, and the amount. Yeah, it is the amount spent, students. You should not be too obsessed with this 100. Yeah, 100 is not going to be of too much of a use. What is of a use is this is rupees. This is rupees spent. So you are going to say, how much rupees have I spent? The weights are, students, remember this. So this is how the weights are the amount spent. Amount spent. Okay. And so this 2:1 is the amount spent, students. So there is lot 1, there is lot 2. So you all are right in the ratio of 2:3, but start looking at 2:3 is the amounts, right, in rupees. So go ahead and finish and tell me, but the question is asking ratio of number of oranges. So ask yourself, oh, it is maybe that I don't know. Maybe I don't know, or do I know? Now think, do I even know the rate? This is amounts. Do I know the rate of oranges? Yes, the rate, and this is rupees. The rate is going to be what? The rate is the number of oranges per rupee. Is in what ratio? Is in 15 and 20. In fact, if I'm fast now if I'm fast, I'll just say this. And what is it? And I want to find the numbers. Oh, so how I will find number of oranges? The number of oranges this time is going to be the rate divided by this, or rate into, oh, it is going to be rate into amount. You know, these are things that you will have to adjust over there. Rate into amount. So this is 2 into 3, 3 into 4. Very good. Y'all did this last step very good, students. In fact, I was wondering in the last step, many of you might end up dividing some amount and rate. You might end up dividing. The answer is 1:2, students. Okay. So take a moment to reflect back. In the meantime, I'm just answering Shanmukhi's question. Shanmukhi's question is back to question number 1. Right. Now, in question 1, the two lots are mixed. Find the average rate. So, Shanmukhi, the only problem that you might have here is this does not mean that 100 rupees is spent. Does not mean 100 rupees is spent. Right? It is just at a rate of. So, you know, rates sometimes are not per kg. If you obviously you know a little bit of Hindi, but you might not know so much as I'm speaking. Per sakda means 100. For every 100, this is the rate. Or bananas. When you buy bananas, what do vendors tell the rate? 25 rupees or 50 rupees. Sorry, 25. No, they also speak 25 rupees. When they say 25 rupees, what does that mean? 25 rupees for 6 bananas. 50 rupees for 12 bananas. That does not mean that I purchased 12 bananas or I spent 25 rupees or 50. It is just a way of speaking a rate. That is what is being used in this case. So this is a rate of 15 oranges per 100 rupees or so on. This is the number of oranges in some amount. Just say 100. 100 rupees means a unit. And here I buy 20 oranges per rupees. So he's asking what is the average rate. So obviously in this rate, do I need to know the amount spent? Yes, right? Therefore the answer is cannot be determined. Just let me know if it is okay. Amay, this is a long question, second one. Yeah, we are doing it full thing here. Na? Average is in oranges. Yes, the average is in oranges per rupees 100. The units will not change. So yes, so look now, where was the average? Here, the average, I'm highlighting it now. 18 oranges per rupees 100. Okay, so I hope that's okay. Yes, yeah. So Amay thoda try answer is in the second question. Yeah, okay. Yeah, find the average. So sort of this is, let's say, whatever, 2 independent question based upon that instructions or so on, right? So I hope you will continue. Let me go ahead and tell you one more thing here. Pay attention. So I may try the next one. 2-3 बार करेंगे this, and in fact you have many more questions of this type. So once we are done with the allegation part, I'll just come. We are ahead of schedule today. Yeah, in fact, we are ahead of schedule. Let me see what we did this question. Weight of oranges. Yeah, okay. Part of a journey I covered on motorcycle, which had 60 kilometers. The rest I covered with this. Okay, this we have done, students. We have done the same, so I'm not doing. Yeah. So what is allegation? So I hope everyone knows allegation. So first is, where do you use it? So once we get this done, I can do these questions that were troubling you. Just give me a few minutes. I'll just quickly reach them again. In allegation, what you should know when to use. So first limitation is there can only be 2 groups. There cannot be 3 groups. Only for 2 groups. Yeah, for 3 you cannot. So if there are 3 or more groups, you will have to go to weighted average. Okay, now, so that the other place to use it, remember, you know these formats. So it works best when these 3 are given. What are these 3? Remember, these are your individual average, individual observation, and you are given the weighted average. Okay, and ideally this has to be found. This has to be found. And what is this? These are weights. So this is how you should think about it. So the weights are unknown. The weights are unknown, like what we did just now. I think so. This is, I think so. 2:3. Most of you would have done it by allegation only. 15 20, 18, this minus this, 2:3. And remember here, you'll always have this problem of what are these? What do these refer to? You'll always have. Again, I remind you that 1 or 2 sentences of mine, you are going to learn new scenarios over the next 1-2 years of weights being different things for different scenarios. Okay, if you start using this in DI, you'll again learn a few more. So this is how what allegation is. So I'm not spending much time over there. You should be knowing that. So let's solve a few questions, and then to find the ratio of weights, it's a process, right? So I'm doing it on my thing. Yeah, you're not doing it, just saving time, student. Bicycle and phone together cost 30,000. Bicycle sold at 6% profit, phone at 15%. Overall profit percentage, both articles is 12. Oh, so overall what? Profit percentage. So one of them at 6, one of them at 15, overall at 12. This is your weighted average, right? So subtract. Remember 6 minus, and be careful with the sign. Subtract this way. Be careful with the sign. And these numbers have no meaning to individual numbers. Okay, no meaning to individual values. These have absolutely no meaning, students. Okay, what is the meaning? The ratio. And always ask, what is this a ratio? And your first answer will be ratio of weights. And then I'll always ask, what are weights? And what are weights depends upon the context. So go back to the context. These are profit percentages. So profit percentages will be cost price. So done over. So what, now you have got it. Now this is, look at the word costs, together cost. So 30,000. So together is 3 is 30,000. So each is going to be 1:2 nahi hai kya ratio? Subtraction correct hai mera? हाँ, 12, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. So one is 10,000, one is 20,000. So what has been asked? Cost of phone. Now which one is phone? Look at these. Don't leave the thread in between. This is the phone. Okay. So this is the phone. So phone will correspond to this part, 20K. Okay. So next, easy. In the fraction, people make a mistake. So I've highlighted it. Yeah. So no errors over there, students. Yeah. In the fraction, people make a mistake. Careful. Part of lot went bad, sold at a loss of 25. Rest of the mangoes sold at profit of 35. Overall, I made profit of 15. There's a cannot be determined also. Good question, huh? Okay, so good. Now my question is, so attention, yeah. So first is you can use positive negative, students, right? So a loss is nothing but a minus 25 and everything is in percentage. So leave a profit is a plus 35 and a profit is a plus 15. So do the subtraction, but do it correctly. So that's going to be a minus 40. do this subtract 50 minus this is a minus 20. Take the ratio. Now comes the interesting part. Students, always this is a ratio of what is going to be the question. Don't say of weights now, right? Always the second question is weights are what? Are costs. Okay, costs. Okay, so pay attention, yeah. So if they are cost, this says fraction of the mangoes. So this question is trying to tell you the number of mangoes that goes bad over total number of mangoes. So tell me, is it really 1/3? Or do you want to change your answer to cannot? Because what is happening is, again, we have come down to number of mangoes. Shivani has changed it to cannot be determined. Anyone else would want to change? Nikhil has done cannot be determined. Okay, so we are still waiting. Just two of us over there. Others still stick with your 1/3. Why then? But then number of mangoes, hai na? Why 1/3? Okay, so not many answers. Okay, weights of mangoes only matter. Okay, okay, Shanmukhi, you're getting another angle to it. Yeah, you're getting weight of the mango rather than number of mangoes. Yeah, because these mangoes are all to the same lot. So Shivani, Nikhil, attention. Yeah, these are also mangoes. These are also mangoes. They are not different. They are not apple, oranges. They are mangoes. They all belong to the same one. So tell me, how do we go to number of, okay, listen to this, students. What is the relation between this number of mangoes and the cost of mangoes? What is this relation, or how do you build a relation? Cost of mangoes, right? Okay, the cost of mangoes, can I say that cost is going to be number into the rate? Now tell me, now is the rate different for the two different lots? For these mangoes which have gone bad and for these which are good, is the rate at which you purchased, is it different? So they're directly, the rate is going to be the same for both of them, students, right? So think about it this way, na? Shivani, yeah, Nikhil has understood. I go to the market and I say, "Mereko mangoes de do," and so 1/3. So let's say I buy for 300 rupees, right? Why am I taking 300? I'm taking 300 because 1 and 2 is there. So I bought it at 300 rupees. This is my cost. Now, in this cost, 100 rupees of mangoes go bad. So this is bad. And 200 rupees of mangoes is okay, are good. But tell me, in the number of mangoes, what will they be? Will they still be 1:2? Yes, this is going to be same as the ratio of number of mangoes. Right? So, I can make it more, I can keep giving examples more and more, but you'll have to, sort of once realize, it will always keep moving between what? Between weights. So Shanmukhi got weight of mango into picture. So tell me, when will weight of mango come into picture? Anyone think and tell me, when will weight of mangoes get? Oh, when the rate is given as rupees per kg. Yeah. And here, what is the implicit understanding? It is rupees per mango, number of mangoes, because you're talking, right? So I think so you'll have got it. You'll have got a taste of where things go wrong, how things go wrong, and so on, right? So just be a little careful. Here, the answer is going to be 1:3. So 1:3 is perfectly right, though you might have missed this link, but then this should come as a thought. Okay, chali. So very easy question, I am doing it. Cost price, nothing to do, student. Read it fast. Rice costing 45 per kg. Now you have all is mixed with for 75 per kg. The average cost price of the resulting result, it always talks about the weighted average. Weighted average of 120 is 50 rupees per kg. You're finding a rate. So 45 mixed with 75, 50, 45 minus 50 minus 5 minus 25. Immediately take it. Till here you should go at breakneck speed and then pause. Ratio of kgs purchased. Kgs purchased. And this 120 is going to be what? 120 is the total. So 6 times, na? 126 into 20, 120. Perfect, right? 120. Okay, yeah. So easy question. There's nothing there. Okay. We'll come to now. Okay, good question. Students, read the question, please. Just 1 minute. And this time, those who get it wrong, this time onwards, you'll start getting a scolding. समझ में नहीं आता, एंड में हमेशा क्वेश्चन पूछो. Ratio of what? Is it a question or exercise? Oh, hai. Then to use this. What? Okay. You know, now it's some while since I made the exercises. I also tend to forget what I've put over there. Okay, so I guess the others are also must be clear. What then? So I'll then just finish it. Okay, good, Jayesh. Good. So profit of 16 2/3. Now, okay, couple of thoughts. Yeah. So since I've started this question, let me add a little bit of value. So students, let's not let go of the opportunity. So this is in a percentage. This is in a percentage. This is also in a percentage. 37.5. Okay. And this is the overall. What I'm trying to teach you is pay attention to this, right? These are fractions. You could make them proper fraction, as in a mixed, instead of mixed fraction, you could make them this way. So I'm just taking this opportunity to do this. Okay, this is going to be 75/2. Okay, and in alligation, you can always multiply all the values by the same constant. Nothing changes. So I'm multiplying it by 6 over here. Okay, so that is 100, 240, 225. And I do this cross multiplication and I get this as 125 and I get 225 is, what is this going to be? Just 15, that's it. This difference, this is. So what is this ratio? 5 3s are 525. 3:25. Can I do this? Yes, students. Okay, so look at this. You can always multiply it. Okay, point number 1. Next, You might also use multiplying factors. That's also fine. 16 2/3 profit, 1/6 is what? 7/6. 40% profit, 2/5 is what? 7/5. 37.5, 3/8, right? Is what? 11/8. Remember, these are multiplying fractions. Can I do this also? Yes. Okay, so as I told you, yeah, but then again, fractions are there. So what would I do? I would multiply it by, will 40 work? No, will 120. I'll multiply it with 120, 6 into 20, that is 140, 5 and 24, 5 and 24, right? 24 into 7, 140 and 28, 168, 8 into 15, 165, blah, blah, allegation, 25, 3 is to 25. So all of this you can do. Right. So if you have never experimented this or so on, remember with profits, you can do multiplying factor. With fractions, you can multiply. But remember, the last question is, this is a ratio of the cost. This is a ratio of the cost price. The question is asking a selling price. So you should be able to do it with this. Okay. Tell me here. Okay. Pay attention to this. Again, here, allegation is never necessary. Shanmukhi's answer, she's asking, is allegation, your question more appropriately word means, is this the best way? It's debatable. You know, some people like allegation to such an extent that they like to use it everywhere. Okay. So pay attention. Let me go ahead and tell you one more way. You know, just to play around, because I have learned allegation by playing around a lot. So tell me some new, nice way, creative way, lateral thinking. Use allegation, but I want the ratio of selling price. I want, after doing the allegation, I want the ratio of selling price. Tell me, students, force yourself. I want selling price. How do I get selling price? Very good, Shanmukhi. And now let's continue and do fast. This is 1/6 is a profit. So can you change it to a margin? Can you change it to margin? Everyone think, oh, 6, 1, 7. You should be able to, right? 1/7. And can I use fraction? Yes. 2/5, 2/5, 5, 2, 7, 2/7. Oh, 3/8, 3/8. Oh, 8, 3, 11, 3/11, right? So can I use this directly? Let's say, what will you multiply this with? You'll multiply it by 77. So that's going to be 11, 7, 11, 22, 7 3s are 21. Do the subtraction. Bingo. Do you get directly the selling price? Do you directly get the selling price? Right? So these are how you keep tricking things into, right? So once you understand it well enough, you can do such manipulations. Once you understand weights well enough, once you understand that unit, yeah, what is important is the unit of that observation. Now we have changed the unit of the observation to profit per selling price. So I will be getting the weights of selling price. Okay, so hopefully we have captured some more thought over there. Okay. Nothing much, students. Yeah, I think, okay, this is also from exercise. These are from exercises, so I'm not doing them. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. I don't know what this question is. A certain number of chocolates were distributed amongst 15. It was also there. Okay. So leave it. I'll do a few better questions, students. If this question is also there, let's leave it. Yeah, I want you to do a 1 or 2 with I don't think so this will be there. Huh? I want you to do 1 or 2 related to DI types. This is also there. A male female literacy. Okay. Chalo to. Okay. Okay. A car dealer sells two different models of car, one at 25% loss, another at 40% profit. Overall, no profit, no loss. Find the ratio of selling price. This is same, yeah, what we have done. You know what? Now that I know I'll margin, this is a loss, remember, 1/4. So 4/1 is a loss. So selling 1/3. I would have finished it with the margin way only. 40% profit, is going to change to 2/5 will become 2/7. And no profit, no loss is going to be what? Oh, I took fractions, remember. No profit, no loss is going to be what? No profit, no loss. Now, this will be a tough one. What is no? What will I do? One, why is one? Is it a fraction that I'm taking? But I'm taking profit over this. No profit, no loss. No, there is some here. Zero लेंगे तो problem है. Zero लेंगे तो problem है. Okay, I don't know. Even I am stumped. Okay. But I know from maths, what I know from maths is zero will result into issues. Why? Because this has to be between. This number has to be between the two. So one भी problem है फिर तो. Even you can't even take one. You can't take one also because one is not between 1/3 and 2/7. No, you can't take zero, you can't take one. What did I do? What is happening? What is happening? First of all, this is not a multiplying factor, okay? Be very clear. These are margin. Margins are not multiplying factor. Margins are profit divided by selling price. So profit divided by selling price is zero. Then zero should work. No profit, no loss is with respect to CPM. No, देखो ऐसा सोचो ना कि look at this, right? Okay, what I'm seeing you guys is doing is, listen students, yeah. What I see you guys is quickly giving solutions. Don't give solutions so quickly. That is first appreciate the problem. So, and what whatever you do, you go ahead with a zero. Some of you are going to face an issue. You go ahead with the one, you will face an issue. नहीं इतना जल्दी नहीं कि this is that. So let me answer that question. Someone said, Aman, profit, this will be in terms of cost price. No profit, no loss will be in terms of cost price. Not really, student, right? Remember, these are your amounts. These are your amounts. So when I say a 25, so I say a 4, 1 is a loss, 1 is a loss. Oh, I should write this -1/3. Yeah. So student, don't, yes, it will be 0. Yes, it will be 0 because whatever is the cost price, the selling price is the same, right? So this is cost price, selling price, whatever it is. So the profit is 0. And this profit percentage is also 0 by X. 0 by CP, the margin percentage is also 0 by. So yes, so those thoughts who were saying a 0 should be 0 is perfect. Now what is going wrong is I'm missing out the minus sign to show that this is a loss. This is a profit. Okay, and so 1/3 could also be a profit, no students. 1/3 could also be a profit. In margin, how is profit percentage in negative? Tell me why is profit percentage in negative when you say profit percentage is -10%, which is essentially loss, no? Right? When you take profit in allegation, what do you do when there's a 10% loss? When there's a 10% loss, we have done that question where we took a minus.
Sir?
Huh?
Yeah, with respect to CP, there's a decrease in selling price. So in profit, it is a loss. But when we are taking in margin, will it still be a loss?
Think margin, the only thing that changes is The base has changed. So instead of comparing with cost price, you're comparing with selling price. But what are you comparing? You're still comparing a
this.
-1.
Okay, yes, sorry. Yes.
And you know what this is trying to, again, I don't want to erase this. Okay, I can. Yeah, let me erase. So what I want to tell you is, look at the students again. Do you realize that, let me give you these values. Yeah, let me give you these values. Okay, so this is 3. No, I want, this is Control Z. 2, 1. These are cost price and selling price. Cost price, selling price. Right? Tell me what is the margin. Go ahead. What is the margin in the first case? Margin is 1/3. In the second case, what is the margin? Now, if I ignore all signs, then it comes, there is an ambiguity. Na? So what is it? It is a -1/3. Good enough. So these are things that, you know, it helps us when we just try out new things in different scenarios. So let me finish this off. This is a -1/3. This was a 2/7. The middle is a 0. You also understood, remember, 0% profit is equal to 0% margin. You should not have a problem there. Okay. Anyway, so this is 1/3. This minus, okay, this minus this is this minus this is -2/7. Taking the ratio 6/7 is my answer. We obviously knew the answer, but then we are just sort of finding it in a different ways. This all are repetition, students. Yeah, so I'm just going at, I want to do one type. Wait. Okay, good question. Think and answer. Think and answer. Is it there in the exercise? First, let me know. I don't think so. No, yeah, think and answer. Kavita ran a marathon, 40 kilometers in 4 hours. She started slow, running at a pace of 7 minutes per kilometer. Find ratio of the time for which she was running at 2 different speeds. Be confident and bold. Yeah, don't try the a safe method. Don't try a safe method. It's a class to teach. Yeah, you can be safe in an exam, not here. 7 minutes per kilometer. 4 minutes per kilometer. Find the ratio of the time. Okay. So where is that overall? These are the two parts. Where will you get the overall? It's a good question. Yeah. Try students, force yourself allegation. I want you to sort of understand that part only. Okay, there are now 2 different answers coming in. Okay, so be a little careful. So if I take this, so all the earlier ones were 2:1 A, and now everyone is put to B. अम्मा क्या करते हो, जल्दी नहीं करना है. Yeah, how do I get this? This is overall. This is from here that you get 240 minutes. And be consistent with your units. Yeah, focus on the units. One advantage that engineers have, right? And I'm telling it to both the groups. The engineers feel good about it, is that you are more comfortable with working with units. And the non-engineers, you have such a small gap to cover. If you call it covering, yeah, you should. Just focus on unit, it will become easy. The units is minutes per kilometer. So the average rate is now twice these. This is going to trouble you. Oh, so that this, if you convert it into minutes per kilometer, this is 240 minutes for 40 kilometers. Okay, so that is going to be 6 minutes per kilometer. And 7 minus 6 is a 1, 6 minus 4 is a 2. Now you come over here and stop over here, pause. This is a ratio of. Chalo, ratio of. Don't say speed, therefore time. That is wrong. Think the speed. In fact, tell me, how is it saying increased her speed, and how is 7 becoming 4? How is 7 becoming 4? You know, because increase to should become increase. No, this is a pace. The units is changed. It's minutes per kilometers. Anyway, so this is a ratio of kilometers. Work in this and it's done. Right? And I want the ratio of time. And how can you find time? Time is equal to speed into distance. Or what is it? No. Time is equal to distance by speed. So time is going to be 2 divided by speed. Which speed? Please be careful. Which speed? This 7. 1 divided by 4. So that's going to go blah blah. 7 go here. 8. What is this answer? 2:7. नहीं, ये फिर 4 का क्या करूं मैं? 1 kilometer divide. No, there is something wrong. I have done something wrong. Shit, what have I done? And this difficulty, student, is only about that unit. So let me think again. This relation is wrong. This relation works when speed is in kilometers per hour. Oh shit! How that was a very silly part. This relation is only when speed is in kilometers per hour. And therefore, focus on the units, students. Aha. So how do I find minutes?
Sir, sir, be it minutes or kilometers, when you do again the ratio of the 2 times, then again the minutes and it would compensate, right? Kilometers. Again, we're taking ratios of time there.
This is perfect. Yeah. Kilometer, minute per kilometer. So to find the minute, you are going to do the kilometers into that. So this is 2 into 7, 1 into 4. Okay, so the 2 and 2 cancels out this. Yeah, good students, those who got it. Now I'll focus on what you said, Shanmukhi, or else maybe you might have an answer on your own. So if you've got an answer on your own, just let me know, okay, or else whatever. So let's go a little behind the picture and see what's happened. In fact, do you know it is just that the speed has been changed to reciprocal of the speed. Okay, speed has been changed. So it is actually called a pace. And you know, one of these days, an exam is going to use this pace. You know, speed. Typically, when we say speed is called kilometers per hour. And when we say pace is called time per hours per kilometer. Both refer to a rate. Both refer. Is it okay? And you know, these days with more and more marathons and everything becoming popular, the sentence of pace is becoming very popular. This usage of pace. Okay, so somewhere one of these days an exam is going to use space. Okay, so I think you can get it on your own. In fact, this is the place that I was trying to yes. In fact, if, Pratik's question is, can those people change such units? Yeah, can they change the units? Yes, they can. In fact, if you look at it, it's a very common way. How do we make questions tough? In fact, tell me, what is the rate usually? The rate is rupees per number of apples or mangoes. Na? We change it to 15 lemons per rupee. Lemon per rupee. Haven't we changed the numbers? Haven't we changed it to number per rupee? So these are very standard techniques used, right? And after a while, we exhaust all these. So we don't have many things. Okay, now don't go wrong, students. Yeah, there are, I think so. We have done this, but still, let's be a little careful. It's a easy question, yeah, and I want to save time because of one question. Man sells mangoes at 50% profit, apples at 20% profit. The selling price, okay, it's a good question. Maybe you should try it. The selling price of both mangoes and apple, rupees per piece, is same. Considering apples and mangoes together, he makes a 40% profit. Find ratio. So it's rotating near that same thing, yeah. But there's the data now. There's a new thing here. Oh, selling price is same. What do I do with that? Think slowly on your own. So a little tricky, does it seem? Okay. Actually, no, students. Yeah, profit of. I would still go ahead. Okay, I would still go ahead and say there's a 50% profit. Mangoes, apples is 20% profit, and considering together the trader made 40% profit. All these should all be good enough. This is going to be 10, this is going to be 20, 2:1. The whole story is after this 2:1. 2:1 is the ratio of, now, okay, possibly pay attention. I'll give you some time to even get it through. Okay, if you still are struggling with it. So pay attention, one nice word thing here. So a lot of people here say this is a ratio of cost price. Now I would object to this cost price. It is correct. You and I, both of us know. I'm just objecting to the word price. Now this word cost price, stays with us because cost price is good in the case of one article. In the case of one article and so on. When we have things like mangoes, rice, and so on, mangoes, rice, pet, then what I would rather versus, I would just say total costs. Yeah, I would put it as a cost, not as a price. And I'll add that word total cost. So the total cost incurred on the lot. This is the difference, students. Cost price refers to per kg, 1 kg, 1 liter, right, and so on. Whereas total cost refers to how much money I have spent. Okay, and while they can be used interchangeably, I would still say, and so if I do that distinction, things in my mind is very clear. Okay, so I'm going to erase this part. If need, I'll let you know again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is the cost money spent. You don't like the word cost, say investment, because cost is so, or else I'll just say this is the amount spent, right? Easier words, amount spent in purchasing the entire lot. So this is making it even more detailed, long word. Part 1 done. Now what is part 2? The selling price of both is same. Now tell me, what is the selling price of both? How do you handle it? Now this should be handled somewhere. The selling price, 50% profit. Okay, the cost price. Now this, look at this now, suddenly how this cost price came in. At apples at 20%. What is 20%? 1 by 5, 6 by 5 times the cost price of apples, mangoes. These two are same. So can you tell me the cost price of a mango and the cost price of an apple? Okay, so it's going to be 3, will cancel this with a 2, 4 by 5. Go ahead, take it forward from that. So is 4 by 5 the answer? Is 2 by 1 the answer? Or is something else? Or is it cannot be determined? A good question, huh? Take it forward out over there. You have your things in this. Remember which one is apple, which one is mango. Don't miss that out. I've still not told you which is the answer, right? Finish it confidently for yourself. Mango. You don't know how to use this? Say this is 200 rupees. This is 100 rupees. Make it things easier for you. Okay, this much money I have spent. Question is number of mangoes bought. Oh, the cost price. Now, do you appreciate the difference between the cost price and so on? Price refers to for one mango. For one mango. For one apple. Okay. So I hope you got that, right? The rate per fruit, per piece. Is it given? The per piece. And that is why this was specified so much. The selling price is same for per piece. So what the purchase rate. 4, 5. So what will I get? I will get 50 mangoes. I will get 20 over here. So the ratio, the answer is 5:2. So I think so you have got the idea. In fact, so now, so done, students. Yeah. We started off a little slow. We did very standard ones. So this question, I put it at the start of it. This question at the start of my career troubled me a lot. And this is where I started learning alligation. You might find it very silly, right? In fact, I would, it took me almost couple of months to realize what is happening. And you might really think, "Arey, itna easy question ko few months." But I'm talking of 20 years back. That time, no one knew this depth that we are discussing. Person buys some mangoes and apples. Cost of mango is twice that of an apple. Selling price of mango is thrice that of an apple. By selling an apple at twice its cost price. So a lot of this, you can obviously do cost price, selling price fundas. Okay, you can do cost price, selling price fundas, but okay, go ahead, try it, students. Even I'm trying it, and then we'll solve it together. But it depends. Okay, there is an apple. There is a mango. Chalo, it's not a question of easy, difficult. Go out of your comfort zone and just. So you did it with one way, try another way. Cost price of mango. So cost price. That is one mango. Cost price. I've sensitized you to that usage also. A mango is twice that of an apple. Selling price of a mango. So this is all one fruit. Is thrice of an apple. By selling an apple at twice its cost price. So you'll again have to change it. Selling an apple at twice its cost price. So this will be 2K. Find the ratio of mangoes to orange. He makes 150% profit on the whole. Now, what I had in mind when I did this is, and what I'm trying to push you towards is, if I take that as a part, this is how I learned. Okay, in most of the averages question, there is going to be one part, and there's going to be another part. Okay, apples, mangoes, and that is going to be combined. This is how, and I thought, okay, that is combined. He made 150% profit on the combined. So if there is a combined part, there's an individual part. So can you tell me on apples how much profit he made? Just on apples. 200% profit. Very good. Why is that? And that is where you should, later on you might sort of end up saying, oh, do I need this all table? But tell me, apple is sold at twice its cost price. Right? Twice its cost price simply means kitna? 100%. 200 nahi nikel. Yeah, twice its cost price. 100 pe ke tha 200 pe, so apple I get 100% profit. And on mango, now that is where you would have to use this ratios a bit. Mango 2K and you sold it at 3 times. 3 times. So 200% profit, right? So when you do that allegation, you get 1:1. Now we have already discussed so many questions that here I got stuck when I said, when I started teaching and so on. Here you got stuck because this method gave me 1:1. And the traditional method that I did using profit loss and so on gives me a different answer. And I'm pretty sure that different answer is correct because that's a traditional method. So now go ahead and tell me what is the issue here. This 1:1. Now think and again tell me, is it the ratio of the cost price or is it the ratio of the costs incurred on the lots? Make this difference. In spite of me, highlighting that, I don't find students appreciating. They just somehow just think, yeah, it's the same thing. It is not the same thing. If you say cost price is 1:1, then what is this? What is this? This is the cost price. This is for one fruit. Then what is this? You made 100% profit on amount spent on apples. on amount spent on apples. You did not make 100% profit on one apple and bought. You made 200% profit on amount spent on mangoes, right? So from now, so please understand, percentage could be found for individual fruits also, and it can be also found for the entire lot. So you need to, look at the context and make that meaning. एक apple पे भी you are making 100% profit, and on one mango also you are making 200% profit. But this 150% profit is not made on one mango, one apple. This is made on all the mangoes and apples. Remember, this 150 is on the total cost that I incurred, not on one apple, one mango. So here we come back to that same thought, Nikhil, right? Can I just say one apple and one mango is bought and sold? No. If you say one apple, one mango is bought, then what is the question asking you? Question पूछ रहा है ratio of mangoes and apple. ना मतलब they are different. So hopefully you have got that. Now it's an easy one. This is costs. This is costs. Okay, and how do you get to numbers? The number of apple. Now number of apple. Now what you have to look at the units now. The cost is going to be, nothing is given, so it's going to be rupees per and so on. Cost price, yeah. So it's rupees per mango. So how do I get it? How do I get number? Rupees per mango. So I will do the amount that I spent, the amount spent over the cost price. The amount spent over the cost price, be a little this is amount spent, costs, and the rate. What is the rate? 1:2. So 1/1, 1/2, that is 2:1 or 1:2. Okay, the question is asking mangoes to apples. Mangoes is 1, apples is 2. Okay, so done, students. So you have got an idea. You have seen how things are twisted, turned. That's it. It's a good, very detailed level of understanding, students. Yeah, this should help you. Okay. Tomorrow, what? Mixtures. Continue this with mixtures. Right. So that's it. TSD, I don't think so. Will be able to catch up tomorrow. Means I would like to do average speed. If I, if I reach that level, but I've been slow only mostly. So we'll do mixtures. If we save our time, then I'll just tell you some average speed fundas. That's it. Good night. Thank you, Neha.
Sir, आज workshop है?
आज नहीं, कल है मेरे ख्याल से. वो उसने अभी लिखा नहीं होगा ना, लेकिन कल है. हाँ. I don't know. I think so. It's doing for DILR itself. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Shubham, Thursday ka DLR kya? Okay, I'll do that. One more student was asking, Jaspreet was asking. So I did not think of uploading, but I'll do it then. Okay, sure. Okay, thank you, Tanvi, Pratmesh, Aman, and all of you, Shanmukhi, Nikhil, Desh. Yes?
Previous LRDI workshop की recording uploaded है क्या?
हाँ. रिकॉर्डिंग अपलोडेड है, पीडीएफ नहीं है. पीडीएफ अभी तक उसने मुझे भेजा नहीं है, लेकिन रिकॉर्डिंग तो अपलोडेड है.
सर मैंने चेक किया सर, मुझे मिला नहीं सर. वर्कशॉप में नंबर सिस्टम का बस था सर.
नहीं, डीआई में देखो, डीआई में शिवकांत.
ओके सर.
डीआई कोर्स में. हाँ
ओके सर.
हाँ
थैंक यू सर.
या ओके. Mayank, thoda, if it is new to you, if you have just started using alligation in lots, you might find a little difficulty, but I think so we have done a lot of variations, rupees per kg, number per rupees. So just go through all those things again, right? And, sit and work it both ways. Once with a traditional way, let me buy X kgs, let me buy Y kgs, use variation. Yes, ma'am.
हेलो. हाँ सर, मैं रेशियो तो मुझे मिल गया था उस स्लॉट्स वाले क्वेश्चन में, बट जब सेलिंग प्राइस मुझे निकालनी थी तो मैं उसमें बहुत कंफ्यूज हूँ. मतलब मुझे समझ समझ भी नहीं आया कि वो कैसे किया गया, कंफ्यूज।
So the thought over there, Mayank, is once you have that, now try, look, if it is, let's say, cost price और selling price का अगर relation लेना है आपको, तो आपको लेना पड़ेगा cost price into that multiplying factor of profit is selling price, ये relation. तो अगर मुझे cost price का ratio पता है तो selling price का मिल सकता है. Obviously एक से दूसरे में जाना है आपको, so you would have to एक मिनट और क्वेश्चंस लिख लेने दो, फिर मैं बताता हूँ. देयर आर सम मोर सिचुएशंस, जो बाकी के सिचुएशंस आते हैं वो है अमाउंट का रेशो पता है आपको, अमाउंट का रेशो, और नंबर ऑफ एप्पल्स, नंबर ऑफ फ्रूट्स चाहिए. सो इन दोनों को लिंक क्या करता है, इन दोनों को लिंक करता है रेट. और किस तरह का रेट? रुपीज पर नंबर. या फिर और इसी सिचुएशन को व्हाट माइट लिंक अप इज the rate might be given as numbers per rupee or so on. So ये जो units है, इनसे आपको relation लेना पड़ेगा. For example, समझो एक जगह मैं 20% प्रॉफिट से बेच रहा हूँ, प्रॉफिट 1, और दूसरी जगह प्रॉफिट 2 25% से, और मुझे मिला है उनका सेलिंग प्राइस का रेशो. दोनों कर दूंगा जो भी आपको चाहिए. सेलिंग प्राइस का रेशो समझो है 3:4 रैंडमली. तो यहां से मुझे जाना है कॉस्ट प्राइस पे. तो आप ये यूनिट्स इसको देखोगे और आप बोलोगे अच्छा कॉस्ट प्राइस ढूंढना है, तो कॉस्ट प्राइस कैसे ढूंढोगे? सेलिंग प्राइस डिवाइडेड बाय द मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर. सो 3 को आप डिवाइड करोगे, 20% प्रॉफिट मतलब 1/5 मतलब 6/5. ठीक है. और 4 को डिवाइड करोगे किससे? 5/4. तो खत्म कर देते पूरा. 5 ऊपर चला जाएगा, 15/6 यहाँ होगा, यहाँ पर हो जाएगा 16/5, एंड देन अगेन यू विल क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई 75:96. ऐसे आएगा आपका. ठीक है. तो यही चीज यहाँ पर, तो इन तीनों चीज में आपको रिलेशन ढूंढना पड़ेगा आपको. तो 2 चीज पता है, जैसे यहाँ पर दिया ना मैंने, 2 चीज पता है, तीसरा ढूंढना है, तो वो रिलेशन से आएगा. ठीक.
सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन. सर एवरेजेस में एक्सरसाइज नंबर 3 में सर वो क्वेश्चन था, सर वो क्वेश्चन था कि मतलब नेचुरल नंबर है 1 to n, और उसमें मतलब लास्ट टाइम मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा था तो अमन ने मुझे आंसर दिया था, मुझे थोड़ा क्लियर हो गया था. लेकिन सर फिर मैं क्वेश्चन कर रहा था तब भी मैं बहुत कंफ्यूज हूँ कि सर जैसे लिखा है 37 1/70, तो उसमें मुझे जो 17 होता है, तो सर नेचुरल नंबर्स में भी और कंसेक्यूटिव नंबर्स जो भी है, हमें सब में देखना पड़ता है कि 17 का मल्टीपल होगा, या फिर ऐसे भी हो सकता है सर?
नहीं, नंबर और उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट से कुछ लेना ये नहीं है. मतलब सभी में आपको नंबर ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन जो है 17 का ही मल्टीपल हो सकता है ना. देखो अगर मैं अच्छा, तो कैसे ढूंढूंगा मैं कोई भी एवरेज मैं सम करूंगा, सम डिवाइडेड बाय n. राइट. नाउ सम कुछ तो वैल्यू आएगा और n भी कुछ तो वैल्यू होगा, जो भी. नाउ इन दोनों को फिर मैं थोड़ा कैंसिलेशन करके मुझे मिला है फाइनल में, मैंने आपको दिया है 37 जो भी 1/70. तो ये जो इससे पहला वाला स्टेप में क्या होगा, इससे पहला वाला स्टेप में वो न्यूमरेटर ओवर 17 होगा, जो भी है वो जो भी मिलेगा. हाँ, 13 into 17, 17 into 37 plus 1. ठीक है, डिनोमिनेटर. अब इससे पहले यहाँ पर क्या नंबर रहा होगा? टेल मी, यहाँ पर क्या नंबर रहा होगा? टेल मी, कैन इट बी, मैं रैंडमली बोल रहा हूँ, क्या ये 20 हो सकता है? क्या कोई भी चीज अगर मैं 20 से डिवाइड कर रहा हूँ तो क्या कुछ कैंसिल करके 17 में वो बदली हो पाएगा क्या? कैन इट एवर कम 17, राइट? कैन, इफ दिस इज 35, कैन इट बिकम 17? नो. बट इफ इट इज 34, कैन इट बी? यस. 2 कैंसिल कर लिया होगा और 17. तो ये जो ओरिजिनल नंबर है ये क्या होगा? ये 17 का मल्टीपल ही होगा ऑलवेज, राइट? सो दिस इज नॉट जस्ट डिपेंडेंट अपॉन वो एक क्वेश्चन के लिए नहीं है, ये कहीं पर भी कोई भी डिवीजन में अगर आपको कैंसिल करने के बाद का वैल्यू पता है तो उससे पहले, एंड दिस इज ट्रू फॉर एवरीथिंग. सो लिसन हियर नाउ अगेन. सो वी आर गोइंग टू सी इन पॉलीगॉन्स, वी आर गोइंग टू सी समथिंग लाइक दिस. 25/28, और अगर मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि एक नेचुरल नंबर है, सो डू यू अंडरस्टैंड, ये जो नेचुरल नंबर न्यूमरेटर पे अब मेरा ध्यान चला गया, ठीक है। ये नेचुरल नंबर जो है, क्या ये मेरे पास, क्या ये 68 हो सकता है? नहीं हो सकता है, क्यों? ये 25 का ही मल्टीपल होगा और ये 28 का ही मल्टीपल होगा, राइट?
थैंक यू।
ओके, अब मैं, इट्स द सेम थिंग ना, मैं ट्राई करो ना क्वेश्चन, मैं समझा दूंगा, उसमें कोई ये नहीं है, लेकिन मतलब उसके बाद भी तो हमने कितने सारे क्वेश्चन किए ना, सो यू विल बी एबल टू मैनेज इट। आई एम सेइंग व्हाई यू जस्ट डिपेंडेंट, वहां पर आप एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिस कर जाओगे। एक मिनट देख लेता हूँ कहाँ है। अच्छा, जस्ट पहले था एलिगेशन से, थोड़ा ऑर्डर गड़बड़ हो गया। Profit rise, was it this mango वाला पार्ट? नहीं, ये नहीं भी नहीं था, ये सब तो बहुत आसान है। या तो ये हाँ, तो I purchase 20 oranges at ₹80 per kg, 30 apples at 90 rupees per kg, considering together average, rupees per kg का average। तो फिर आप ट्राई करो, आप जैसे ही आप लिखोगे ना, when you write down सिर्फ 80 rupees per kg आप कर रहे हो, तो इसको किस चीज से मल्टीप्लाई करना है? यहाँ पर 20 ऑरेंजेस है, कैन यू मल्टीप्लाई विद 20 ऑरेंजेस? दैट इज व्हाट वी से डिफरेंस इन वेट। जैसे केले लेने जाते हो, या फिर केले का रेट है पर 6 और 7, उसको वेट से तो नहीं करते हो ना, उसका उल्टा समझो वेट का हिसाब है, ठीक है। सो ऑल एप्पल्स, जैसे आप एप्पल्स या कुछ भी लेने जाओगे, मतलब एप्पल्स विल ऑलवेज बी गिवन रुपीज पर केजी। तो अगर मैं बोलता हूं मुझे 3 एप्पल दे दो, तो क्या वो इंटू 3 करेगा? क्या वो रेट इंटू 3 करेगा? नहीं, वो फिर भी रेट जो है, वो रेट कैसा है? रुपीज पर केजी। सो रुपीज पर केजी है, तो वो उसको केजी से ही मल्टीप्लाई करेगा, द वेट केजी ऑफ 3 एप्पल्स। ठीक है, आपने 3 मांगा, मैं 3 ही एप्पल दे रहा हूं, लेकिन रेट जो है मेरा वो रुपीज पर केजी है। जो भी एप्पल का रेट समझ लीजिए 120 रुपीज पर केजी है, तो वो 3 का 360 नहीं लगाएगा। आप भी बोलोगे अरे 360 कैसे हो गया 3 एप्पल का? ठीक है, वो 3 एप्पल को वे करेगा और उसका वजन होगा 1.5 किलो, तो फिर वो देगा 1। सो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू मल्टीप्लाई इट विद 20, you will have to multiply it with the weight of 20, the weight of 20. And so that is the same thing. So where will I get weight? Now that weight I will get here. So let me just finish it now that we have started. 90 into rupees per kg is multiplied with 30 apples. No, it is multiplied with weight, right? And then the weight you can, so आपको weight तो वैसे भी नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन रेशो चल जाएगा, और ये रेशो से चल जाएगा। So let me just end it with that. वेट का हमेशा रेशो चाहिए, यहां से आ जाएगा। गुड अमय, या चलो। So I guess that's it then. चलो, thank you, bye, Hare Krishna, Jayesh, Mayank, Rajesh, Shivani, bye, good day.